And the podcast begins now.
How'd you go with the electrician? What happened?
It went well. So we have had some issues with our solar panels and battery ever since installation.
I
We
remember.
had it doing weird things where it was misreading the amount of generation. It was exporting stuff to the grid and getting flat by like 6 p.m. at night. It was spitting out data that didn't make any sense, and yeah, a whole bunch of strange like software behavior. Anyway, it's been dragging on and on and on. The previous guy that I've been dealing with was a prick, but he's not with the company anymore. And the new people who I am dealing with are really good. So they sent someone out today, and we had 3 hours of them doing diagnostic stuff and turning my power on and off and cutting off the internet and trying to sort out what was going on with the thing. And it looks like they're just going to have a warranty replacement of the unit, and that we'd got a lemon somehow, which is very actually validating, because I feel like for a year I've been sort of pushing uphill a little bit and insisting that it's not working the way it was meant to work, and to have them come in and like do all the tests and be like, yeah, this is really weird, this shouldn't be doing this. It's like,
Yeah,
it's just nice.
it's
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 just nice to
it's
hear.
it's proof, I guess. Well, maybe just this time, but it's proof that you're not just being an uppity prick.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
I'm actually have a somewhat tenuous grasp on reality still
in this particular instance.
in this one specific case.
Yeah. Oh well, that's good. That's good. Well done.
Yeah, so it is good, but currently it's so I say it was a productive day. When the electrician arrived, it was basically working fine, and when he left, it had been completely deactivated. So we have no battery and no solar generation. I'm having to pay grid power, so it actually is worse than before he got here.
Wow.
But in the service of getting a replacement unit. But yeah.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Don't get solar. Just use fossil
Yeah.
fuels like
Yeah.
a cool guy.
Or just burn like twigs in the backyard.
Burn it.
Start fires.
I watched a documentary the other day called "The White House Effect." It's just come out. It's about. That's my dog. Fuck. I'm gonna kill this fucking puppy, dude. I can't do it
Why is it
anymore.
now so vocal? It wasn't at the start.
I think she gets. When like an actor feels like they're not getting enough like spotlight. I think she's got main character. She's got main puppy syndrome.
And it's a little bit of an ego thing, do you think?
I think so. She's like, the attention's not on her for like 15 seconds, all hell breaks loose.
Well, that's unfortunate. We should make the most of it. She's quiet at the moment.
Think about getting a lawnmower, and maybe there'll be an accident.
My God.
What was I saying? I literally lost my train of thought. Oh, the White House effect, and just because we were talking about solar and fossil fuels, whatever, and it just goes into how George W. Bush's father, was when he got elected in the 78 or 82, something like that. He kind of campaigned on of being very green and being very environmentally conscious. And back then, the climate issue was not. They called it the greenhouse effect back in those days.
Yeah.
It wasn't a political issue at all. And what this documentary goes into is how, over the course of his time in office, he moved so far away from that climate kind of campaign message that he started on, and basically changed the course of history in terms of the climate change debate. He basically fucked it up. He made it a partisan issue.
Yeah.
By how he,
But deliberately, or by
no,
like lobbyist actions, or
just being lobbied, and over time just kind of getting lax with your moral compass, and and then one day you look up and you've finished your second term and you haven't done anything. In fact, you've put a lot more money in the pockets of coal manufacturing, and
yeah, wow, interesting.
very interesting.
And that's the kind of thing as well which does trickle overseas. Again, there was sort of like a post 60s, 70s kind of like almost hippie, love the earth movement, environmentalism was on the up.
Yeah.
And then, the dirty 80s come in and everything's about me, capitalist money and that kind of thing. And I'm sure that when the US president starts to move that position away and starts to make it partisan, that sort of stuff also spreads. That becomes international positioning.
Affected the entire world. You think about, the US and China. I mean, China's gone so green now. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah.
Beijing's gone
the enormous solar grids that they're making.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It sounds like, from what I've read, they're not necessarily doing it out of like a pure moral thing. It's just they've worked out how it can be a lot cheaper for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same financial incentives as the cost of solar panel technology has rapidly plummeted.
Sure, you have
it
to
becomes
incentivize
cheaper to
people,
do it
yeah.
than to have to import coal, and it's they're a very deliberately independent country, right? If they can cut ties or reliances on other nations by building huge infrastructure projects, then they're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Beijing was one of the most polluted cities 10 years. I was in Beijing about 10 years ago, and you couldn't, on some days you couldn't see 2 meters in front of you. And I saw an article today. It was a YouTube video. What am I doing? And it was saying how Beijing has just...
But you did see it. You did see it.
I read it. I read the video. It's like over 10 years has drastically changed their smog levels, and it's one of the cleanest airs in Asia right now as well.
Wow.
Thursday, huh?
Thursday. To quote Garfield,
it's Thursday.
I hate Thursdays.
Do you actually hate Thursdays? I think Thursdays is one of the most underrated days.
I'm going to pay that. I think Thursday is actually a lovely day. Thursday has I'm almost there.
It has the feel of a Friday. It has almost has more excitement than a Friday, because Friday's tomorrow. Because on a Friday, what do you got? Saturday? And Saturday's just right next to Sunday, which is right next to Monday.
Which is when you have to start work again.
Yeah.
Thursday is when the weekend really kicks off.
Thursday might be the best day of the week.
Thursday is the pump cover for Friday's excitement. Once you peel that off, all of a sudden it's weekend day, baby, when we're things are looking up.
Yeah. I feel I've basically checked out on Thursday anyway, so it might as well be Friday.
And I think we're also basically in December, and December's basically the holidays.
You're right.
So I think there's this like snowballing effect of everyone's kind of just like loose and goofy, and that's fun. That's that's summer vibes.
Let's goofy, baby, loosey goofy all the way to Christmas time.
Lefty loofy. Yes. Welcome to Deep Thought, everybody. Thank you so much for stepping in to our intimate podcast studio and partaking in a serious conversation about unserious things. Sitting through the internet with me this week, my friend Michael. Hello.
What the fuck is up?
Not much, dude. What the fuck's up with you?
Pretty good. I didn't expect you to say anything back. So.
My name's Nick. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Sure is. Get this, Nick. I was just walking Pepsi.
Sure is.
I got there's been a leisure centre that they've been building around the corner in the neighbourhood. Huge, like gymnasium, pool, whatever. They've been building it the whole time we've been living here. So the town has been abuzz with the anticipation of this new leisure centre. And Lauren was like, we should join. My gym, like both are equally walking distance from me right now. My current gym and this leisure centre. This leisure centre opened up a couple of weeks ago. I looked at the prices. I tried to sign up. They've got the worst website you've ever seen. Like it's honestly, it's astounding how confusing this website is for a council government kind of operation. I tried to like sign up. They had like a free week to suss it out or whatever. I couldn't work out if I had gotten the free week or whatever. I didn't have to give in any of my credit card details or whatever. The prices, by the way, were just crazy expensive for me. And girls have a different. Well, not all girls. I shouldn't generalize. Look at me go. Laura,
This is maturity in 2025.
Lauren
Where
does
you
like.
self-congratulate yourself.
Well, I mean, like Lauren does like F45 and BFT and Pilates.
Yeah.
This is costly stuff. I pay $13 a fortnight at my gym, and yes,
$13 a fortnight.
yes, it does. It
Yeah,
smells
okay.
terrible. It really does. But you get used to it after a couple of months. You really do. And this leisure center was something like $150 a fortnight, and Lauren was like, "Oh, that's normal." I was like, no." So anyway, I was walking Pepsi before. Get a text and an email, same time. Michael, you owe us 6 fortnights worth of payments for this
What?
gym, for this leisure center. So apparently, from their perspective, I have signed up somehow on their shitty website, not putting any payment details or whatever. And
Right.
as far as they're concerned, I've been an active member for the last 12 weeks.
12. Wait, I thought you said you only just signed up. It only opened 2 weeks ago.
I
Did you get your times mixed up?
actually was aware of that when I started saying that last bit, and then I was like, I wonder if Nick's gonna. I'm not actually sure. I did just get the text message, but the gym's probably only been open for a month, so.
Yeah, okay. So they would have had like a free trial week, which then rolled over into
Yeah.
a payment thing. It's very weird to do that without having taken your credit details or whatever.
It's insane. Like I couldn't. Like Lauren had the Lauren has joined this place, but we were trying to join up at the same time, and I literally couldn't work out. I didn't get a confirmation email. Couldn't work out if I had actually joined. I couldn't access my account or with the login details that I had set up. Like nothing
Yeah,
was
God.
making sense. So I feel pretty
That's-
good about making a phone call tomorrow and just going,
Yeah.
no.
No, thank you. I have not received any confirmation of this. This is not being paid.
Yeah.
Also, weird to get a "you owe us 6 weeks" message and not a "your payment didn't go through 1 week ago" message. Like, why wait a month and a half? That's strange.
I mean, they did say your payment didn't go through today, but not a few weeks ago.
But not earlier. Yeah, the whole system's fucked. I had a thing. So I've been with my gym for coming up in 5 years in January.
We get it. You go to the gym.
I get it. You're the one who brought this up, by the way. This is a segment of Gim Gab, which we haven't touched on for actually quite a while.
You're welcome, listeners.
But in June, I was due to re-up for a year or whenever it was. I think it was June, and I had my original club where I signed up and where my trainer still is across town from where I now live. So I actually go to a different club, but because my membership is anytime international, I can go to any club anywhere. So I pay for one club and I go to a different one. I came up to this renewal and I got a message from a third club saying, "Hi, you're ready to renew. Do you want to just come into the office and pay it?" And I was like, I haven't been to this third club in like 10 months. I'm not a member there ever, and I haven't been there in forever. So why would I sign up there? I'm not a regular at all. And their whole system had fucked up on their end. Apparently, it's meant to do this thing where if you spend most of the year at a certain club, it'll shift your membership over there so that next time it comes up, the dues go to the club that you go to. That makes
The
sense.
Jews go to the club?
The dues go to the club that you go to.
Would you have to wear a yarmulke?
The dues, the DUES, the dues.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
So anyway, my account mysteriously transferred to another place. Then there's 3 different clubs trying to have a conversation, being like, well, his name's in our system, but I can't forward you over to another system, and I'm trying to change where it is associated, and we can't do it, and we're speaking to head office, and they can't do it. In the end, I had to like actively cancel my membership and then sign up again at the right club as like a new member in order for them to correctly work it. So apparently all gyms everywhere have technological backends that do not fucking work.
Mm.
And then I kept getting messages being like, "Oh, congratulations on joining the club. If you need a tour, we'll be here." And so I kept getting all these follow-up things as a new member for a place that I'd been at for 4.5 years, 4
That's
years.
gross. I mean, and
Yeah.
famously, like you can't quit a gym. It's the hardest thing in the world. It's a running joke. So
Yeah.
we're putting gyms on blast this week. Get it together, gyms.
Well, I was actually speaking to my trainer today, and
We
he
get
went
it. You
to
go to
a.
the gym.
We get it. You go to the gym. And he had just gone to a place called Wanaka in the South Island, which I think you might know of
Yeah, I've been there.
because
Yeah,
Lauren's family is around there or something.
near Athol,
But
Queenstown.
I don't know. No one's ever heard of Athol. You
It's
always
all
say
the
Athol,
same.
and I'm like, this is
It's all
not a
the same.
place.
Who cares?
Either way, he had just gone to a brand new gym, which was in this gigantic, like, but they called it the barn or something like that, and it had saunas and it had brand new, pristine machines imported from Germany and Austrian timber beams and like a smoothie bar and massage chairs and cold pools and these kind of things. And apparently, I didn't really have a full. I never really considered it, but it would have cost between $5 and $10 million to set up. I hadn't ever really considered how expensive these places are to keep going. They never seem particularly well off.
No, it's expensive to be healthy. Tell you
Yeah.
what.
Anyway,
Speaking of healthy, I well, you're probably going to say this in a second, but I've had maybe about a week and a half of bad hair days, and today's been the first good hair day that I've had in almost 2 weeks. So I just want to shout out to myself.
what happened? Why was it a bad hair
I
day?
never know. I never know. I never know, honestly. Do you wash your hair?
Yes, I do wash my hair. What, do you not wash your
I
hair?
haven't washed my hair in 2 years.
You haven't washed your hair in 2 years.
I
How?
condition. I condition.
Oh,
It's better.
wait, you only use conditioner. You don't use shampoo.
I use condition maybe twice a month.
You
And no,
use
my
conditioner.
hair doesn't smell. My hair does not smell.
Oh, I didn't accuse you of that. I'm just shocked. What decision has? So you just rinse it under the water, and
Yep.
then you condition it twice monthly.
Yep. Because every time I've ever washed my hair, I've got beautiful, lovely, curly, wavy, gorgeous curls, as you can see. And every time I've washed my hair, why'd you make that face? Don't answer.
Why did I make a face when you described your beautiful, luscious, flowing golden locks of beautiful, gorgeous hair?
Yeah, well done. That's nice. Thank you. It's just it goes off. It just goes off it goes terrible. It's never. I've always felt terrible about. Like I really feel it. I feel like sad when I shampoo my hair historically. So I just stopped doing it.
You
I saw.
feel sad in the moment, or you feel sad at the aftermath?
I'm very affected by how I feel on a day to day. Like
You're
I've
describing what emotions are. That's true of everyone in every context.
emotions. No, I mean
I'm very
what
affected by how I feel.
No, but I'm very particular. Like I've changed outfits 4 times today, and I change my clothes all of the time, because I need to feel right, and part of that is my hair, and
Okay.
so that's why. And then I saw one YouTube video where it could have been Joe Rogan, honestly, but he had like some scientists on saying you don't need to wash your hair, and I was like, that's good enough for me, Joey, and I just stopped doing it.
I mean, I do need to confess that I have heard that theorem. I have heard that shampooing removes the natural bacteria that would be living in your hair and the natural oils that populate it. You leave the oil in there, the bacteria come and they eat it on your head, and then it doesn't get greasy. And that the act of shampooing and then conditioning is effectively just artificially
Starting a
stripping
cycle
all of
that
it
doesn't
out
need
and
to
then
be, yeah.
artificially putting it back in again. And
Yeah.
in response to that, I say, yeah, but I want to wash my hair, and I'm going to.
Yeah, but you've got kind of just, no offense, boring hair. And
I'll try not to take offense.
cut that.
No, that one's staying in.
No, insert something nice.
Okay.
I mean, if you've got these babies, by the babies I mean
Babies, you
waves and
mean the
curls.
individual hairs? Yeah.
Well, I've got kind of unique hair. I always used to hate my hair. When I went to the hairdresser as a kid, all the hairdressers would say, "Oh, you got beautiful curls," and I would hate it as a kid. I hated having curls as a kid, and now, chick magnet, baby,
Chick magnet.
chicken
Because
magnet.
back then you thought curls were feminine and you didn't like how that felt. But now it's the real pussy puller.
Well, they are kind of it's kind of feminine for a man to have curly hair, but if you embrace it and if you have like a tough exterior like me,
I think, to be
you pull it
honest,
off. It accentuates the
the
masculinity.
more androgynous look, the more non-binary look is definitely long hair. I don't think it's curls. I think curls are neither here nor there. I think it's like if you got that long, straight, luscious hair down to your shoulders, I think then you're in that space. But curls are
You
just
ever grown your
curls.
hair out? You ever no
I have
no, hold on.
I actually
Curls are
did.
not just curls.
Curls
Curls are
are
very
just curls.
very
It
curls are
doesn't.
beautiful.
Yeah, but it doesn't inform like a gender presentation.
Uh okay. I don't I'm just going to agree with that. Have you ever grown out your hair,
I
Lauren?
grew it out last year a bit, and not to like crazy lengths, but it just. I don't think it's me. I think.
Yeah. It would be weird.
I think it looked a bit shaggy. I mean, I can send you a photo. You possibly didn't
No,
notice
I'm
it in the
good. I'm
moment
good. I'm good. I'm good.
because when we were
I'm
podcasting, it
self-obsessed.
was a gradual thing.
Yeah. I always think this about Tom York because he's kind of grown his hair later in life,
Yeah,
and I think he's pulling it off quite well. It looks quite good, because he's gone through some hairstyles. That guy,
he has done some things. Yeah, the pop star,
but
rock star life is one of hair changes.
there is a part of me that's like a guy like him who kind of rejects a lot of superficiality about life. There is a part of me that is not consciously registering this when I see like him playing a concert, but I think there is a part of me subconsciously that's like seeing him rocking out, dude. You know how musicians rock out,
I've
and
heard of such a
I
thing.
know
Yeah.
I'll notice his like man bun, and I'm like, that's vanity. That's vanity. It's kind of pulling me out of it a little bit.
Do you think that just like shoving it all up into a bun is vanity?
I think just like if a man has a man, if now I'm gonna this is Mikey's misogynistic hour again. Everybody, fuck, it just happens, doesn't it? It just happens.
I don't even have to prompt you anymore.
Disclaimer. I think if a man has a man bun, that's all fine. I've had a man bun before, but it is vanity, and vanity on a
You've had
man.
a man bun before?
I have, yeah. When I grew out my hair during COVID, I was kind of forcing the man bun, to be honest. But yeah, I can send you a photo
As
of that
in
if you like.
forcing it by like putting it up into a rubber
It
band?
wasn't quite long enough for a man bun,
Okay.
but I really wanted it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have got a photo for you.
please.
I'll pop it in chat here.
Oh, can I ask a question while you're doing
Yeah.
this? Um, this is kind of related. I was genuine question. Do you think I've never been like a baseball cap guy, but I've been thinking about becoming one, or just like
Becoming
having
a
it. Do you
baseball
reckon-
cap or becoming a baseball cap wearer?
I would like to transition into a hat.
Being a hat.
Do you reckon it's too late at 36 to become a baseball cap guy?
No, but it's just baffling because you've just spent fucking 15 minutes talking about how much you love your gorgeous, luscious locks. And now you want to be a guy who just covers it all up underneath a fucking NBA hat.
Yeah, I want a Chicago Bulls hat. That's what I was thinking.
I know. Yeah.
It's more just, sometimes if I go to the gym in the morning, because
Do
I
you
go to the
have one in the
gym.
house?
Yeah, I do. But it's
Can you?
not very.
Okay,
Lauren says it's dorky.
just grab. It doesn't matter. Just grab it and let's have a test run.
I think I have it. Oh, yeah, I'll get it. I'm going to ruin my only good hair day for the week.
It wasn't that good.
Colorado, baby. It's not bad, is it?
You do immediately look like a director. Like you look like if you were on set next to Ron Howard, you were shadowing him, trying to get an idea of, how to do this, set up the shot. It
Well, I
gives you
guess I'm becoming a cap guy.
it certainly gives you a kind of strange authority, and I don't like how it makes me more deferential towards you.
Yeah, I feel like I
Maybe
look cool
because
in
the
this.
the curls are so feminine, and now you're just exuding like a sort of raw masculinity.
I think it's because you know that they're under there, under the hat,
Oh,
suppressed. It's almost like I'm taming the curls.
it's like a kink thing. You're withholding it, and that's like an embodiment of power.
Yeah.
To
Anyway.
be honest, I think you could be a cat person. I
Yeah.
mean, probably not a
Cat
Colorado, and you'd
person.
have to, make sure that you get one that you like and that fits. But I can see it. I do think you could be that person.
I really appreciate that, Nick. I thank you.
I really came into this expecting that I would laugh at you in a hat, but sadly, it's not true.
Well, never expect to come in to this in any particular way.
I'll keep that in mind. Um, you said that you had some hypotheticals, Michael.
I do. I've just been jotting down a bunch of with intention this week because I feel like, sometimes you ask me, do I have any topics? And I'm like, nah, I haven't thought about anything apart from my hair. And so I was like, maybe I like it when we do like the hypothetical things. So I've just written a bunch down and I'm just going to fire them at you and you can pass if you want. I've got that many.
Wow.
And if you want to answer and we can both answer, but yeah, just something light.
Yeah, great.
Cool with that?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. First one. Would you rather have BO or terrible breath, halitosis for 1 year?
Oh,
It's a tough
and
one
this
because you've
is
got
this
both.
is this is objective BO, right? Like this is to other people. This is not I can smell myself. This is other people are detecting this as unpleasant.
It's just noticeable when you walk into a room. But the same is with your breath from like talking distance. You can smell it from talking distance.
I
You don't
think
have
it's
to choose.
breath for me. I think it's breath. I actually was going to go the other way because I was
Mm,
going to say BO
yeah.
if you're, depending on how you're dressed, and I guess I'm picturing this in like if you were sweaty kind of way, sometimes like a top or a jumper can suppress a BO a little bit. So maybe there would be some sort of fashion, sartorial choice I could make to suppress the BO. But I think I've actually come around the other way where I would rather have the bad breath and then just be constantly munching mints and chewing gum or something. And
Yeah.
I feel like I could space myself further from the, people in talking so that it's not super in the face. But
Yeah.
the BO is overwhelming.
No, I think that's the smart choice. And look, because BO is kind of pheromones, so you could really strike lucky with a particular person who
Yeah.
picks up on your pheromones. But
Yeah.
with halitosis, that's no one
Yeah.
likes
I
that.
think BO to me is not, we're not talking about like musk. We're talking about someone who hasn't showered in a week in a way that is dirty. And I don't think that that's like appealing to anyone. So,
No, we're talking a
yeah.
New York cab in the 80s.
Yeah. Which was your starting point for most conversations. Um,
All
all
right,
right.
that
Next one,
was all right.
please.
You're 1 for 1. I'm scoring.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was
Yeah,
being
yeah.
marked on this.
All right. If you had to give, again, for 1 year, if you had to give up one of your senses, what would you give up?
Smell. I can barely smell as it is. That
Well,
was
then you
easy.
wouldn't be able to
Taste is
smell
too
your
nice. Touch is so
disgusting BO.
important. Sound, if you can't hear, if you can't see,
Sound is
that's,
the biggest one.
yeah.
Eyesight.
I'm pretty sure that I've basically been playing this game for my entire life. I don't really smell anything.
Well, you stink like BO.
Is
Touch,
this just
touch
all,
is.
just all set up for you to throw like
I think
insult
those.
grenades at me?
Yeah. Touch is. I mean, what's so good about touch? Touch is overrated.
I'll explain it to you later when you're
No
older.
one's ever touched me. Would you want a device that lets you play memories exactly how they happened, or would you prefer to have your memory as is? And what I'm getting at with this is the sense of like nostalgia. Is it better to have kind of rose-colored glasses for certain memories?
So just to confirm this, do I want memories exactly as it happened, or
Yep.
memories as I
Remember.
picture it happening?
Yeah. And which goes back
Oh,
to your
that's a really
childhood.
interesting one.
I like that one. I like that one. Because
I mean,
I'm a nostalgia file.
some people do have photographic memories. Like some people
Yeah, we do.
can picture where they were on a day and what they were wearing and what the weather was and what they ate, and they can remember every name they ever read and all this kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's amazing. And that's sort of what the first one is, right? Like being able to clearly remember every memory as it happened.
But
That's
do you
sort
really
of
believe this photograph? I mean,
it is.
I've
The people have demonstrated it.
I guess so. But like remembering, maybe like remembering a like textbook, but like of a day,
But
I
that
don't believe
stuff's
them.
verifiable. Like when people have been, have claimed this ability and then gone off and had it studied and stuff, the researchers will be like, okay, what was the weather on, X day? And they'll say, oh, it rained in the afternoon. And then they'll go over and they'll look at the records and find that it's true. Like this stuff is easy to verify, whether or not they're correctly remembering.
Yeah.
Most of it's just factoids.
Maybe I'm just jealous.
Yeah, it does sound cool. It also sounds a little bit like a burden because I think part of life is moving forward, right? And if you are unable to forget things, good or bad, then you're sort of permanently, I don't know, permanently caught in the past, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess it almost feels like the difference between like a video recording and storytelling.
Yeah.
If you know, so
And
maybe
that
I'm a bit of
blurs
a
a little bit.
romantic. So
Well, it blurs a bit for me as well because I don't think I don't have too many like early childhood memories, and I have a sneaking suspicion that the ones that I have are actually internalized video recordings I watched of myself as a child, not first person perspective things. Like I think I've taken videos that I saw of myself and I remember that perspective of it, not
right,
remembering what I
yeah.
was doing in the moment.
Sure.
Like, so
Well,
I can picture
they say
myself
that
as
your
a 3 year
memory
old.
when you're remembering something, you're remembering the last time you remembered it,
Oh,
which is why your memory is so fallible because you're
degrades.
kind of doing
Yeah.
Chinese whispers to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actively trying to think now the earliest first person memory I have. I can remember playing marbles in primary school. I can remember being under the table in the year one
Year one,
classroom.
yeah.
I can remember.
Are you just listing all of your memories right now?
I'm just trying to go back in time and see how early I can get to age 5-ish. I can
Oh,
remember opening the lunchbox at my first junior primary. I'm trying to think if I can think any earlier than
you're trying to think of the
5.
earliest memory. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I had. Oh, sorry, are you still remembering?
No, I'm just thinking. So please talk.
Yeah, it is interesting to try and think back on your early memories, and with the understanding that they're probably completely wrong.
But my brain keeps, when I'm trying to think early, my brain keeps coming back to a picture of me
Mm.
pushing like a little toy cart up and down the kitchen,
Kitchen.
like the hallway thing. But I'm seeing it from the perspective of Dad's video recorder that was filming it. I can't put myself in
Right.
that moment. I can just remember the video of it.
Right, right,
So
right.
I don't know that I could get. I'd have to really. Sorry about that. For the listener, we just had a power cut on our end, and the whole computer and everything shut off. So I have no recollection what the fuck we were just talking about.
Uh, we're talking about remembering
Oh yeah,
memories.
that's ironic. I think I was saying that I don't remember my childhood memory, or I can't distinguish whether my childhood memories were videos that I remember or
Mm.
first person perspective. I can get
Yeah.
to about age 5, I think.
So where do you land on the what the remembering everything exactly how it is, or with your little inflections over the years?
I mean, we talked about the perfection of it. Let's just talk through the nostalgia side of it a little bit, because I think there
Mhm.
is downsides to rose tinted glasses, to inaccurate or foggy memory,
Mm.
because yes, on the positive side of things, you, I guess it's part of like the healing process in some ways. Like you're able to move on from things that would otherwise have dominated your thought process, right? Like if you're
Mm.
constantly caught on bad things that happened because you remember it vividly and how you felt and what the, you know, what that bastard did to you, that's a really easy way to get caught up in negative, bad thoughts. And I think part of nostalgia is a process of the mind romanticizing
Coping.
stuff for its own coping mechanism. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I just had a conversation with a priest in year 6. We didn't make out. Um, yeah, it probably causes a lot of arguments as well. Like, because if everyone's reality, because you're that's the interesting thing. Your memories are your reality.
Yeah.
They're part of the story that you tell yourself subconsciously every single day, and that is a big part of your reality. A lot of our reality is existing in the past, and if everyone is different or not quite unified, that does cause problems.
Yeah. But at the
I
same
guess it's
time, I
trauma as
think
well.
pure accuracy would be if everyone in the entire race could, entire human race could exactly remember everything that ever happened. Is that a net positive or is that worse? I don't know. It's, are you humans at that point or are you just automatons? Um,
Yeah, I mean, I reckon there's a balance
it,
that,
it
yeah, I think a balance would be
it's
nice.
kind of actually circling into the concept of pluribus, the show that Vince Gilligan is doing on Apple TV at the moment, which is about the hive mind and about the
Mm.
idea of, everyone's knowledge of Earth is all shared now, which is, that's a big, good hypothetical about what would you do. So
Well, it's the genetic memory. Genetic memory, I guess,
yeah, I guess so.
is an interesting concept. Like where we have humans have an innate fear of snakes, for example. We didn't just come up with this in our lifetime, or it's not cultural. You look at monkeys in Africa. They'll All primates have this innate built-in genetic fear of snakes that goes back millions of years.
Well, and it's not just us either. I mean, it even the thing that amazes me is like when I watch my dog make her bed, like she'll sit on a cushion and she'll paw at the cushion, for 5 minutes and then do a little circle and then sit down. And that is like genetic behavior about. I mean, I don't think that scientists really have an explanation as to specifically why that is. Some people say it's because dogs used to live on the River Nile and they would, flatten the reeds and make themselves a little bed by sitting on it and to make it flat. No
Is
one
that
really
real?
knows. That is a hypothesis I've heard. I don't know if that's proven or not, but they do it to
Dogs
make them.
came from the Nile.
Well, I don't. Maybe I've misremembered the Nile, but it was definitely about the idea of crushing the riverside reeds down to make a flat, cozy surface to be on.
That is so interesting.
But that behavior, I don't think you see the parent dogs teaching them to do that, right? This feels
Right.
like it. Like Goose didn't used to do this, and now she just does it, and that's something in her like animal genetic makeup which says
Yeah.
this is how you make bed in any
Totally.
context, even though it's now on the couch or it's on a mattress. This kicks
Yeah.
in, and that's how she sits down.
Totally. Even Pepsi barking, that she's 18 months old. She, as annoying as it is, she is barking because she has an understanding, even at 18 months, that this is our territory, and if she hears a noise, she needs to protect it.
Yeah,
That's her role.
yeah.
She has not been taught that that is just in her.
Instinct. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
instinct.
Instinct.
So, and
Which
that's
I guess is genetic memory, is instinct. I
well,
guess.
and then what's the other one? Is it epigenetics, which is the DNA mutations caused by trauma or something, which is passed down through generations, like the whole idea of
The study of
epigenetic
how
effect of yeah.
the study of environmental and behavioral factors that can change gene expression without altering the underlying DNA sequence.
Yeah. So the idea that the Holocaust shaped the epigenetic makeup of subsequent surviving Jews, the trauma and the horrors of that event then sort of rippling through subsequent generations, I think is pretty firmly established. Like I'm sure that they've looked at the gene expressions of those lineages and seen the results of it,
Yeah, I mean, well, if you think about that, the Holocaust as an example, I mean, that is almost an extinction event for a certain type of people. And so it would make sense that even, how long ago was it? The 40s, right?
Yeah.
30s, 40s?
40s. Do you
Almost
not know when World War
100
II
years.
was?
I mean, the Holocaust was almost an extinction event. As far as our DNA or our evolution is concerned, it's almost an extinction event. So it would make sense that our bodies, or their bodies, would hold on to that on
Would
some
react.
level.
Yeah. I mean, it causes what do you say? The DNA is the same, but it changes the way the genes express. I mean, that
Right.
seems very reasonable. Like that's not a wild hypothesis. So
But isn't that cool that that's evolution, not the Holocaust isn't cool?
no, I understood. Yeah.
Unless you think it's cool, I don't care. I like what you like. It's cool. Like we can see evolution before our eyes.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. No, it is.
Intergenerationally.
Yeah, it is actually visible in a quite literal sense. You can go and get the blood swabs and see it on screen. I suppose you don't do a blood swab. You do either a blood sample or a DNA swab. Either way,
Up to you.
I think I go nostalgia.
Love it, dude. Love it. 2 for 2, 3 for 3. I can't remember. I can't count. I'm the same. All right. A bit of a gear shift here. If you could master any skill, something that you're not currently skilled in, you get to choose one skill. No practice. You just get to be really good at one skill.
It's a good question. There are so many tempting ones. There are so many. I mean, this is basically the Matrix, right? This is the plug me in and now I can drive a motorcycle. Now I know kung fu. This is.
But that was everything.
This is teen boy fantasy. This is.
You get one.
I'd really like to be able to smell.
You should have thought about that from
should have thought of
question two.
I should have thought about it.
What about like karate or something?
I don't know. This is see the problem that I'm coming through as I go through this hypothetical is the ego in me thinks that if I really wanted to get good at some of these, all I have to do is start it, and then I will get good at it. So when it comes to like karate, I feel like in terms of practical use, like day to day, that's not essential to the like improvement of my life, right? That's not going to make a manifest difference every day.
Would be cool though.
And I think that if I just studied karate, eventually I'm going to be great at karate. In reality, I'm not. But that's the way my brain is approaching the problem. So what I'm actually looking for is a skill set that I know in my heart I would never be able to really achieve, that I can add to my tool belt and be able to actually benefit from it. So for instance, here's an example. It's not this. If I was unable to cook and I could instantly become like a Michelin star chef, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for, because my day-to-day life being an incredible chef is going to be so good. It's going to be so good for me. It's going to be so good for people around me. I get to show off. It's really good. I can actually already cook, so it's not going to be that. But, that's what I'm looking for. Something with a real practical day-to-day benefit that also feels like is completely beyond my skill set.
I like that you're not going immediately for like something that would make you money.
No.
Like
that's gauche. I'm not interested in that. This is about
gauche.
I mean, to be honest, if there's one area of my artistic brain that I think I'm weak in, it is visual. It is visual art. It is drawing. It is painting. It is 3D thinking, like sculpture and that kind of stuff.
That surprises me.
I know that some people, probably Sean and others, KC's made this argument that I could get good at drawing just by drawing more. I feel like the way my brain works, it's just not wired to translate imagery through my hand onto a piece of paper.
You're talking about specifically drawing?
Drawing, painting, any kind of conceptualization. Anytime I'm drawing a scribble of a note or a diagram or a picture or anything, I can envisage things in my brain. I can know what things look like. We've talked about some people who don't even have the capacity to envision, what an apple looks like. When they think about an apple, they don't see the apple in their head, right? I can see the apple, but I can't mimic the shape of an apple using my hand on a piece of paper. So I think the thing that I would actually feel most pleasure from suddenly being able to do would be art, visual creative expression. I can't make a pot with a pottery wheel. I can't make I can't draw a penguin that looks like a penguin. I can't paint really in a way, but I love those things and I would love to be able to do those things.
That's a nice answer.
What about you? What would you pick?
While you're talking, I'm going to give you a surprise compliment here, Nick. And I didn't expect this, and you certainly won't.
Oh yeah, this is a return for the hat.
I'm feeling generous. It's Thursday. I'm feeling generous. I think you are, and actually a few of my friends have noted this about you from having listened to the podcast. You are very articulate, and you have a very efficient way of communicating. Sometimes, like a lot of the time, I'll just be like blah 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 blah, and you will summarize what I have just said in a very efficient way, and I would really love to have more of that. So maybe be more articulate.
That's nice. I mean, I think you are articulate. I think perhaps what you're describing is almost it's sort of like the ADHD expression, perhaps sometimes. I'm putting words in your mouth, but
no, it is.
Maybe you are not as capable of like wrapping the whole seeing the whole picture or concept in a way that makes it easier to say it. Because when you actually know what you're talking about, you're very articulate.
Yeah, no, it feels like I've said this before, but it feels like sometimes when I'm trying to say something, I know what I'm trying to, the destination, but sometimes when I'm trying to say something, it feels like three fat guys trying to get through the same door at the same time. And so I just got,
I mean, even
and
two would be
nothing
a
happened.
lot, but three, that's
It's a big door. It is a big
okay.
door.
So it's a double door.
Revolving door.
Okay.
I
So
don't know why that was
three,
struck. Revolving door.
three people trying to get through a revolving door. Okay, I understand
Yeah.
your metaphor
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. No, but I do admire that about you. And sometimes when I've listened back to a podcast and I've completely even forgotten that conversation and I hear you summarize what I've just said, I'm going, I mean, a lot of I will internalize it as shame and be like, you fucking stupid fucking idiot. Like Nick didn't even know what you were going to say. And it took him 3 seconds to just summarize what you just took 30 minutes to say. But I mean, I wouldn't want that completely because I mean, I would have to completely rewire my whole brain. And I do like more and more how my brain works. And even if I'm, kind of rambling a lot of the time, I think I do have surprise compliment for myself. Why not? It's a
Oh, throw one
Thursday.
in there.
I do think that I have an interesting brain. Like I am glad to have my brain.
Good.
The older I get.
I'm glad that you're
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice getting into your 30s and feeling comfortable in your own skin? It's just what a luxury. You remember how much time of your life you spent feeling awkward or uncertain or uncomfortable or and
Totally.
now I just like being me and I'm used to it and it's good. What a luxury.
Yeah. It is nice. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I think a huge part of that journey for me was the ADHD diagnosis, and not necessarily being medicated for it. It's it had I've been on it. I've been diagnosed for 18 months now, I think, and it just completely has changed on a day-to-day level how I perceive myself, and it has made me like myself as opposed to in the past chastise myself.
Yeah, or
Like
be
thinking,
frustrated or
I
yeah.
said that to you at the time. Like going from thinking that I was dumb to thinking, oh no, I'm just a bit weird,
Yeah, well,
which is
I
great.
mean, you've got a superpower.
Yeah,
In many contexts, that brain style is a huge benefit.
and
The
that's
hyper
exactly how
focus
I
or
think
the
about it now.
interests. Like yeah, the self awareness that comes from it has to be really affirming.
Yeah, it really really has. It's like it's changed the way I operate in the world.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad to hear it. Good hypotheticals. I'm enjoying it.
I've got two more. Do you want to keep
Yeah,
going, or do
why
you want
not?
to?
Yeah.
All right, let's just do one more. How about that?
Okay.
How are we going for time? No time.
It's a bit hard
What?
to know with the pause. I've got
Yeah,
time in my life. I don't want to make you
I've
go
got
without
70
food
minutes
forever.
on. No, I'm actually not that hungry. 70 minutes on Ableton. So, all right, last one. Okay, you get to choose one thing to experience for the first time again. It can be an album. It can be it
I
can be
mean,
a
that's where
memory.
my
It can be a
brain
holiday.
first went.
Hmm.
That's interesting. Holiday.
It could be the first episode of Deep Fort.
I don't need to experience that one again. Um, First time getting into a location. I mean, it's interesting. In the hypothetical, am I me now experiencing the place for the first time, or am I reliving how I relived it the first time? Do you know what I mean?
Your memory's wiped, and you're choosing now
Yeah.
to go back and get to experiencing it now.
So my memory of it's erased, and now me, 36-year-old me, gets
Yeah,
to listen to
yeah,
it fresh for the first time. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not me remembering the
You just
thing that
said
happened
listen. You just said
in
listen.
when I was 15 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I've got one.
I mean, my brain just wants to say Radiohead albums.
In rainbows.
I was gonna say Kid A, but yeah, both of them. I I can still remember listening to In Rainbows the first time, and so I'm happy with how that was. Um, the other place that my brain went was I did a lot of travel when I was younger. You know, I did a gap year after uni. I was lucky
We
enough to
get it. You
travel
go to the
with
gym.
go to the gym. I was lucky enough to travel with my family as like family holidays and things. And we went to places. And I think as a kid, but also even as a young adult, if you end up in a place like, I don't know, Paris or
Japan.
Vienna or, you know, wherever it is, you have a certain perception of it. And if you're with family as well, potentially it's shaped by their influences or their choices and that kind of thing.
Mm.
And I think the idea now of, you know, next time I end up in Vienna or whatever, as me, my age now, I'm probably going to feel like I'm getting a fresh sense of that
Mm.
place again,
Yep.
you know, with adult eyes or with clear, you know, as my current self. And that's
Mm.
probably going to be very interesting as a contrast between the sense memories of what it was and
Mm.
the fresh eyes today.
Yeah, I have recently had one of those experiences where, I went to Japan with Dan 10 years ago, and then when Lauren and I did our trip, we went back to Japan, and
Yeah.
I was very conscious of like what do I remember of this versus like how is it going to feel in the moment. But I gotta say, it kind of like dissipates. It doesn't really hold. It doesn't have a lot of grip. That kind of trying to be awareness. That awareness doesn't
It's
have
easy
grip.
to just slip into, you know,
Yeah,
standard
it only
life
lasts a
rather than
little bit.
self-awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be my choice. Was I went to New York in 2003, so two years after 9/11 happened, and even back then, even as a 12-year-old, I was super into 9/11, and I knew that I was going to Ground Zero 2 years after. So when it was still,
Yeah.
they didn't have the Freedom Tower yet,
Yeah.
and even though I was conscious of that moment and it was awesome, I would just love to relive that again. I would love to go to Ground Zero in 2003 again.
You know, that's not the answer that I expected.
No? You thought it was going
But
to
to
be
be honest,
9/11
in
related though,
retrospect, it
right?
is
Yeah.
actually kind of predictable. I mean, I've told you that we as a family, we went in November 2001.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
We might have had this conversation at some point, but we had a
Wow.
US trip booked for October, November of 2001.
You and the
And
family.
the whole family, yeah, family trip.
Wow.
And then a month before we're meant to leave, September 11. And so parents were having this big freak out about, do we go, do we not go? In retrospect, I'm still kind of surprised they went, just knowing their
Well, best time to
tendency
fly after a
towards,
terrorist
well,
attack.
that's exactly what the logic was. It will never be safer to fly to America than right now because, I mean, the queues for TSA were hours and hours, and, you know, everyone's taking shoes off and all that kind of shit. So it was right. Like, we didn't have any issues. The mistake was the entire country was in fucking shock. And we went to New York and everyone was traumatized. Like, it was
Yep.
really unpleasant. I did not enjoy
Right.
my visit because I'm not even blaming them, but like the whole city was traumatized, angry, upset, grieving, horrific. And then you're there being like, oh, I want to go to, you know, the fucking FAO Schwartz toy store, and everyone's like miserable. It was not fun. But
Did you go to Ground
I
Zero?
did. I said to my dad, can we go see? Because this was
Yeah.
the, you know, the first sort of like event, you know, as a child, international, you know, history making event that I was around for. And he was a bit like, I guess so. And Mum was like, why would you want to go? And I was like, well, because
What?
this is where it happened. So
It's history. It's
dad
history.
took
That's
me,
amazing.
and it was still,
Smoking?
it was still rubble. It was still
Yeah.
absolutely rubble. It had all of the fences up, and the fences were just absolutely covered, dense, meters deep of flowers and cards and toys and teddies
Yeah.
and tributes and everything. Like
Yeah.
it was very moving. And I'm glad that I
Wow.
went.
Yeah. I mean, that's no, I did
But
not
yeah,
know that
within
story.
2 months.
I'm
Yeah.
so jealous. I mean, that I mean, it is. Look, it's kind of a joke, my obsession with 9/11, but like you were saying before, like it is the first. It is first of all an incredible world event, probably the first one that's captured in color. Also, the choreography of this attack is unbelievable. I mean, the plane
Multiple
hitting the
planes,
first
multiple people. Yeah,
plane
similar
hitting the
time.
first tower, everyone thinking it's an accident.
Yeah.
All the cameras going on there. Then the second one. I mean, and then the towers fall. I mean, like it is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
How
The scale of
and we
it.
have it all on camera, and it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not grainy black and white footage.
Yeah.
It's you can feel it. You can feel
Yeah,
it.
it's not the Zapruder film. It is. Well, I mean, it sort of was because people still read into it what they wanted to see in it. But it was 1,000 angles with 1,000 decent cameras. Yeah,
Yeah, and you were there 2 months after. That's amazing.
yeah.
That is
The other
amazing.
thing that I really hated about it was there was so much concrete dust and shit floating in the air still that I was coughing and spluttering like nobody's business because my asthma was being triggered. There was like particulate shit, and I couldn't breathe. It was horrible. Yeah.
Thanks, Giuliani.
Yeah. The one era in which Giuliani was held in some esteem.
What a journey that man
What a
has had
journey.
in his career. He's had the J.K. Rowling of political careers.
Not sure that's a compliment to either of them.
Not meant to be.
Well, that was really fun. Thank you for compiling those hypotheticals.
You're welcome. I'm good for the next
Yeah, you've got
few
another
months,
100
I
pods.
think.
Yeah, you can just sit back and
Sweet.
relax. Yeah.
Sweet.
And if you've enjoyed this episode, well, thank you so much for taking the time to partake. We have plenty more episodes you can go listen to if you want to fill one of those lonely afternoons in the office, when Sonia's on your back about getting in the latest spreadsheets and you just need something to keep you company in those moments. Go listen. Go listen to 189. I heard it's a good one. You can also get in touch with us if you'd like to be, part of the family. You can send an email to deepfort@gmail.com. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify and leave a comment in the Spotify zone if that's kind of your thing. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. And you can just generally think a little bit more deeply about whether or not you want clear memories or nostalgia and what they might be doing for you.
I've never met a Sonia in my life. Can I do a quick plug here, Nick, please?
I'd love it.
But by the time that the next episode comes out,
As in this
I will
episode?
no, sorry. The next episode, which is the Christmas episode.
The Christmas episode.
I will have put out a song. So I have a new song coming out as Slow Mons. Please follow me on the Spotify and whatever, the Apple and the Instagram, and made a nice little song about a bird.
And it's good. I'll pop those links to Slimons in the chapter notes, not the chapter notes, in the episode notes. So you can just click on them. Easy peasy. Won't that be nice?
I was thinking today and this week kind of that, how I've become pretty woke now. I'm very, maybe I'm not woke, but I'm like super like conscious of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe new segment. I don't know. Just play if you got a siren, like woo. New segment, PC police, and I'm the sheriff. Okay.
So just for the listeners' benefit, my nickname on the video recording software last week was PC police. So there is a 98% chance that Michael had this idea based on the audio file that he downloaded after our recording.
Completely separate idea. Okay, so this is just two things, and there's a 99% chance that this segment will never come back.
Okay.
But I just realized two things because now that I'm woke or whatever, I just realized that there's like a couple of things that we say on a day-to-day basis, and they're kind of like not cool to say.
Okay.
And so you're under arrest. So I got two. Calling someone who's in a vegetative state a vegetable. People still do that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Don't call them a vegetable. What the fuck? Doesn't even make sense. It's very rude.
Where does that come from? Just like
vegetative, I think vegetative state.
Yeah, right. But what's even vegetative? That has to be from the idea that there has to be what's the word? An etymology there, which suggests that it is inanimate or something.
Relating to or denoting reproduction or propagation achieved by asexual means.
That sounds like a biology term.
Yeah, it is biology. Yeah.
I don't think that's the context that...
But you can have vegetative spores.
Vegetative, from the Middle French vegetatif, from Middle Latin vegetativus, from the past participle stem of vegetare. Vegetare. Correct.
It's a bit of a weird etymological thing, isn't it? This one. It's not clear.
So to vegetate is to grow or sprout or spread abnormally. I don't know how they ended up meaning.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Well,
incapacitated.
Yeah.
Like a plant, like the likeness of a plant.
To vegetate
also
literally
does
suggests life. It's growing and shooting, which is the opposite of the intent. Yeah,
that is a weird one. Anyway, stop calling people vegetables. All right, and the other one I've got here.
Thank you for saving me that. I was going to have to look for a sound effect, but now I don't have to.
The saying "falling on deaf ears." Mm-hmm. That's not okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what's wrong with deaf ears, dude?
I think as well, these are in the area of legitimate. Like there's that sort of PETA, the organization PETA, the animal rights organization, has issued lists where it talks about things like beating a dead horse and saying that we shouldn't say these things, and there are ways to not include animal cruelty in our sayings, and that to me seems a little bit absurd.
I mean,
there's no.
They can't
this is
hear it. They can't hear it.
Yeah, this is a.
Well, I guess neither can deaf people really.
That's true. But
they could read it.
They could definitely encounter it. But like the idea that we have to spare a metaphorical dead horse, the suffering of being beaten, is absurd. I don't think that's the kind of stuff that just gets parodied and ripped into for being out of touch with reality.
They're losing support.
They're losing that battle by being that kind of way. But there are, I'm sure, I've seen them, definitely pushes by deaf people or people with disabilities to change the way that certain language is used around things that really those humans do come into contact with on, I'm sure, a regular basis in a way that irks or hurts or inflicts suffering. And there are, I'm sure that if we Googled it, there would be people saying don't say falling on deaf ears for quite legitimate reasons. You
heard it here first.
Yeah.
The sheriff, there's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah.
I mean, these sayings and phrases. Woke. I've got a gun and it's full of woke bullets. Okay, I hope you've got a bulletproof vest. These sayings, people don't. They're completely innocent because they just become
idioms.
You become completely detached from them.
And it always there were always what is it, like racist stereotypes in a lot of phrases like that. People would talk about gypsies, right? I can't remember the exact
Mm.
expression, but something about drunk like a gypsy or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like that's not even subtext. That's just explicitly saying that this
Yeah,
entire
yeah, yeah.
like group of people is drunk.
Yeah.
And
Well, it
yeah,
was maybe something to do with
yeah, something like that.
stealing
I don't remember.
gypsy, thieving gypsy. Oh, you thieving gypsy.
Why are they British in this context?
Who? Because otherwise it's Trump.
I guess I'll take British.
Thieving gypsy. You know these gypsies, they steal a lot. They're very good stealers.
Um,
Sorry.
Michael, I have a question for you. So this weekend, we're recording on a Thursday. I don't know if we've mentioned it. Recording on a Thursday because this weekend, some friends, Bernie, Claire, and Luca, are going to be in town. This is the fourth Wallace person I know who has come to visit me in Christchurch that isn't you.
Oh boy.
It's only been 11 years. But I am excited because I think there is movement on that front and there is discussion about you
Me?
coming
Yeah.
over in the near term. So here
Yeah.
I am in Christchurch trying to work out what do I do with my good friend Mikey? What do we want to be? How are we going to spend this time? How long are we going to be here? What does he want to see? What do you want to do? And then I just had a question and I need to ask it to you here. Do you
I'm straight.
do you want to go on a hike? Do you like hiking? Do you want to go
I
on a
really do.
hike?
You know what's so funny about this? Because I am planning this New Zealand trip. I'm actually just waiting on Casper now because
Oh,
he's got a wedding. He's coming over coincidentally for a wedding around the time that so I'm trying to once he books in his dates, I will do mine. But I was talking about this with Lauren the other day, and I was saying we were talking about like how we can plan our itinerary, and she said, "Well, Nick will probably want to go on a few hikes in
I'm
Christchurch,"
actually not a
and
huge hiker, but it just struck me as a thing that like we could do a couple night hike. There's a place where I know it's like a private track and they have cabins and they leave the food there for you and you just do your walk across the day and then you get to the thing and then you're just there in a cool scenery with a cabin. And I'm like, is that a Michael thing? I don't know. I don't know if he
dude,
hikes.
I absolutely love hikes. I'm
Okay.
a big hike supporter. I'm a supportive of hikes.
Okay. And camping, you're okay. How are you going? I mean, I suppose I've answered this question because you haven't showered your hair in years, but you can go a couple of days without a shower. Do you like have camping clothes? What does Michael in the
I
bush
went
look
camping.
like?
I went camping last weekend.
Yeah. But do you have like bush clothes? Do you have your like wool tops and your, like your thermals and your hiking boots? What do you look like out there?
Yeah, my boots and my tiara and my leggings. No, I've got. I can fake it. I can play the part. Don't
Okay.
don't
No,
don't you worry about
it
that.
wasn't necessarily judging. I can't. I haven't seen this side of you, and I'm curious. That's all.
No, I do. I mean, to be fair, camping Mike does look kind of like one of the village people. So I may have
Which one?
just
The police officer?
uh, one of the gay ones. I
Okay.
can't
I mean,
remember.
that doesn't narrow it down.
By the way, isn't it so funny that Trump is just like YMCA, baby?
It
That's the
is
coolest
weird.
song of all time. Let's just jerk off some dicks. Um, no, I do. I love the outdoors. I love nature. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. In my brain, that is. No, I love hiking. I want to see some stars, man. I want to see some stars. I
Mm.
want to see the night sky. I want to see God, quite frankly. I want to see
I mean, that
the
suggests we need to go to
creator.
Tekapor. Tekapor is a dark night
It's
reserve.
where God lives.
It's where God lives. It kind of legit is though, but like you go down
Yep.
there and it is at night all lights have to be extinguished and you just get clear dark sky. You get pure cut hits of the Milky Way galaxy above a, still mountain lake. It is unbelievable.
So this is my number one thing that I really want to get out of New Zealand is just some looking up
Okay, well,
action.
let's go to Tekapor. That solves that problem.
It's a date.
Okay.